Welcome, citizen. I am your host, Venerati, and in today's cast, we are going to see a matchup coming from the Intel Extreme Masters, and we are going to see the two players, Merz and Dimaga, going up against each other. Now, Dimaga, as many of you have seen on my channel before, going up here, the Ukrainian Zerg player, very, very strong, has beat quite a few big-name players, and Merz also a very strong player. Haven't actually cast any games from the Swede right here, but it's going to be very exciting because Merz is actually quite the accomplished player. As he has had quite a few tournaments underneath his belt and quite a few victories as well. So we are going to see a very strong Terran player coming up here, and we do see him walling off early on. And with the map that we're on, of course, we are on Lost Temple. We have a lot of stuff ahead of us due to the fact that, well, the spawning points that we have right here is going to lend ourselves to a kind of a short rush distance, whereas if Dimaga had spawned up here or Merz had spawned over here, we'd be looking at something probably a little more heavy as far as macro goes. But you know, I've said that before, and then of course we've seen players just spread across the map like wildfire and wait 30 minutes to actually attack each other. But I do not believe that will be the case here. Merz actually building his barracks over here, and will most likely be patching this up with either a tech lab or a reactor, as well. Probably a tech lab is generally what you see coming from players at this early on. Allows you to get that early Marauder in the mix-up with those Marines, or get a Reaper if you so choose. Of course, now you don't see Reapers used all that often, simply because they took away that Nitro pack. Well, they didn't take it away, but now that you have to have the factory, they're not as effective as they used to be. So they're not quite nerfed, but they're still not super effective. They're not nearly as cheesy as they used to be. Meanwhile, on Dimaga's side, though, we do have him taking down that hatch, and he is going to be throwing down the spawning pool as well. Both of them going down around the same time. We don't have a extractor yet, so I'm not going to see, might not really see that much in the way of tech early on. Might be seeing a fair number of Zerglings on the field, but while I'm saying that, of course, we do actually see the extractor going down here. So, of course, Dimaga will be preparing himself for the later game because, you know, that Vespene is so important for that tech. Meanwhile, Dimaga is still looking for... Does he know where Merz is? Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. No, he does not actually know where Merz is. So, well, now he does know where Merz is because he hasn't been in either of these spawning points. So there's only one place left for Merz to be. And surely enough, Dimaga is aware of that. So meanwhile, we do have a Reaper coming out here, and we'll be finishing up here momentarily. And yes, there he is. He is going to be moving out here, and it does look like he is going to be kind of poking around, seeing what he can go ahead and grab hold of. We do have two Zerglings out right now, but it's not going to be enough. We actually have an SCV right here. SCV is actually going to be throwing down a bunker. Now, Reapers are highly effective against building and very vicious when you put them in bunkers because of those grenades. They get the range upgrade on those grenades. It is really brutal. Now these Zerglings are charging against this Reaper. Dimaga trying desperately to kill it. This one Zergling will not be enough though, as both of them do get capped off. This Reaper had plenty of health left, had 20 HP left, and of course going to be throwing his nice little grenades in there, and actually kind of bugged inside that bunker. But now this Queen is trying to make something happen here, but of course she will not be able to, as this bunker would definitely be able to stand what's going on here. We do have a Spine Crawler right here. That Spine Crawler, however, is not going to be able to best this. I do not think it's just going to be coming out quite late, and due to the fact that the Reaper will have range on this on the Spine Crawler, I really don't feel like he's going to be able to do anything. But Merz, not wanting to go ahead and take that chance, is going to recoup that bunker right there, getting 100% back, and is going to be moving back with his Reaper. Of course, this drone is going to be running for its life right there, but the Reaper looks like it is going to be able to catch up and kill it right there. Yes, we do see him actually firing upon the drone, but the drone running inside those bushes, barely able to get out of sight, and the bad jump by the Reaper. So this drone is running for its life. It's got one shot left, and oh, maybe, boom, yes, there we go. See it go down, but this Roach, not happy about that, is going to be shooting at that Reaper. Well, Reaper only has 4 HP left, so this Reaper is definitely counting its blessings right now. Meanwhile, Dimaga trying to go ahead and start populating his natural right here. He does have the Roach Warren, and of course, well, obviously he had the Roach Warren. We saw that one Roach up there earlier, but these Roaches are going to be pretty brutal for Merz to deal with right now, because Merz doesn't really have that much out on the field. So if we go ahead and take a look at the units tab, there we go. Looks like we did actually see a pause. Merz, of course, bringing these other 2 racks online. We do have 2 reactors, so we are going to see Merz going for heavy Marines right there. And Merz, of course, is floating his orbital command out here and we'll be going ahead and keeping up with Dimaga macro-wise, just a little bit behind. You have to make sure if you're not going to put an extreme amount of pressure early on one basing, you have to expand. As we're sitting at around 7 minutes right now, so this is perfect timing to expand. We do have this one roach coming in. Of course, this roach really ain't going to be able to do anything. He's just kind of poking around and getting the crap shot out of him. So we do have these Marauders. Marauders are going to be very effective right here as, of course, roaches are armored and Marauders do specialize in going up against those armored units. Now, we do have quite a few of these drones right here right now, and we are seeing Dimaga going ahead with a slight advantage of 6, but he's actually behind as far as mineral income, but 2 reasons for that. He does have more Vespene geysers actually occupied, and he doesn't have mules, as we do have mules for Merz right here. This one mule making a big difference, and does look actually like Merz is going to be moving out here. His one trooper of a Reaper will be up here. This one roach kind of being caught out in the open will be decimated, popped like a dirty blister. These Overlords are definitely going to be in trouble right here as they're trying to move away. Actually, speed upgrade by Dimaga. Great call right there. The Spine Crawler trying to make something happen, but is definitely not going to, as Dimaga right now has money in the bank, has larva, but is going to be evacuating right now. We do see the forces of Merz stimming, trying to cap off that queen. We're trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. There are a lot of Overlords sitting right here. The Baneling nest, of course, taking a huge amount of fire right here. These Banelings trying to come out here. Will it be in time? They're almost done. We do actually see them rallied on this one poor, unfortunate Marine. And yes, we do see them actually coming in there, making huge dents in these units right here. We see the Zerglings, of course, coming in here, and we'll be killing these Marauders, as these Zerglings are well-suited at taking out these Marauders. Marauders, of course, slow attacks, well-suited against armored. Of course, Zerglings being light units are going to be very good at taking out those Marauders. But, of course, right there, we see that last Marauder dying right there, as we do see more reinforcements pulling up here. Marines, of course, with their shields. This is going to be putting more pressure on Dimaga. Dimaga has a lot of drones in his base right here. So, of course, we do have the Marines coming here trying to kill drones. Not going to really make that super huge of a difference right now because there just really aren't that many Marines. But, of course, Merz doing a great job of microing his Marines. Actually going to end up doing a lot of damage as these Marines have a lot of kills in between all of them. That guy has 7 kills. He's Rambo right there. So, of course, we do have Zerglings moving up here. Will be finishing them off as that one Marine goes ahead and dies. So, Dimaga down to 25 Harvesters total versus Merz's 45. So, Dimaga really needs to make something happen here. He needs to go ahead and do some damage to Merz, because Merz right now is just going to run away with this if Dimaga is not careful. Of course, Merz has 2 bunkers up here and several more Marines and Marauders looming around, so those Zerglings would not have fared too well if they had chosen to continue that attack. Of course, Dimaga putting out creep tumors as well as the Spine Crawler right there. I almost put spore colony, but of course these Zerglings right here. Dimaga really in a tough position, as that was a lot of damage, and though Dimaga is not out, he is definitely down right now. I mean, he is a full 25 Harvesters behind, and just look at the income difference right now. So Merz sitting pretty, can just kind of sit back there and just ball up and just do as much as he possibly can. Of course, Merz trying to scout out, trying to make sure that Dimaga isn't putting down any ninja bases right here, because he's not quite sure if Dimaga is one basing it at the moment. So right now, of course, that one Spike Crawler totally crushed that Marine right there, just straight down. That was pretty awesome. So right now, Dimaga actually has a few Overlords parked out here and has Banelings coming online. And he has the upgrade for the Overlords where they can actually carry these units. So it looks like Dimaga is going to be bombing here with these Banelings, and that can be very dangerous to any sort of player, because if you're not careful, you can run these things in mineralizer, or drop them right in the middle of a big cluster of Marines, and it is going to hurt big, because those Banelings, of course, they hit the ground, and it's just like boosh kadoo, and boom, there you go. You've got an acid bath all over a bunch of light units, and we do see Dimaga actually going to be doing a pincer attack here, as he has 2 Overlords skirting out on the sides, looking for these mineral lines, and these mineral lines are desperately undefended right here, as Merz has everything on his front door, and Merz looks like he's loading up for a counter drop. Well, he doesn't know this is a counter drop, but looking like he's going to be loading up for a drop period. We do see scans going down, trying to figure out what Dimaga is doing, as Merz really hasn't been able to poke around very well, as we've seen this Spinecrawl, go ahead and dispatch 2 things. And we do actually see a drop on the high ground of Dimaga's would-be natural, but of course there is nothing there, so Merz, disappointed in the fact that he will not be able to shell anything there, will be loading up. Meanwhile, Dimaga's still not doing anything with these bombers right here, as he's just kind of balling up here, has these 2 overlords, or 3 overlords, kind of spewing stuff down there, and Merz still going ahead, sieging these tanks. We'll be kind of poking around, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And we're just kind of sitting here waiting as Dimaga, I mean, still look at that. Yeah, it's it's pretty sad right now, seeing as how much Dimaga doesn't have. But right now, Dimaga is going to be moving in here. Will be dropping his Banelings into this, and this is going to get brutal real quick. Yes, we see them going, detonating one after another after another. Of course, Merz, being able to rack right there, was able to save the majority of his main. And right now, Merz, though, seeing what's going on, was in the main of Dimaga, and seeing how weak Dimaga is, this is going to be really brutal, because Merz right here has these tanks sieged up, and this is really going to choke Dimaga's ability to come out of his own base. And we do actually see Merz moving out, and Merz has an overwhelming force right now. Let's go take a look at the armor type. Yes, we see 55 to 141, and we do have Dimaga coming in here with his Banelings. We do see detonation all over these Marines, and these Marines are just dying by the drove, but there are not enough Zerglings here to do much, and we do see drops coming down from Dimaga, and this is going to get brutal, but unfortunately, Dimaga just does not have a left. He's enough left. He's down to 34 count right now. We do have Zerglings coming out here trying to make something happen. Of course, we did see those shells coming down from these tanks up here on the high ground, and Merz is just reinforcing, and Dimaga doesn't have anything to do or anything to come back with. And of course, Dimaga seeing that is going to GG out of here. So that was a pretty awesome game, seeing that we got to see bombers, and I always love to see overlords filled with those Banelings, but it just wasn't enough, as Merz really just crippled Dimaga early on in the game with that push, and it really started with that Reaper on the natural, but Merz just doing a good job of coming in there and just tearing Dimaga a new one, and just kind of leaving them to die on the vine. So Merz securing the first game. This is going to be a best of 3 in the Intel Extreme Masters Cup. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know what you think, and please join me for the next 2. So as always, citizens, stay safe.